right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tony.
Tony.
Yes.
I got to tell you. It's graduation season, right? We're coming into it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I feel so sorry for this generation, and the generations behind it. The world has changed so crazy, bro. So, like, you know who Andrew Tate is, right?
Yes.
So, if you haven't heard of this guy, he's kind of like, everybody tries to say that he's, a toxic masculinity and that
He is.
he's a misogynist.
He is.
How?
I've seen a couple of his videos.
Okay.
He talks like he's Mr. Macho, Mr.
But
I'm the king of my castle.
But he's speaking the truth though, because if you listen to him and he talks about the women, right? And he's talking about these girls that are out there and that they want a guy to like, all these fine chicks that are like, they want a guy in the top 10%. They want even girls that aren't in that. Like there's another guy that talks to women and they're like, he's a girl, you 36, got 3 kids by 2 different dudes.
That's that Samuel dude?
Yeah. And you want to make them wait?
Yeah.
For what? You should be handing that shit out at 36. He's talking about these girls that they all of a sudden don't want to have sex. They want to keep themselves pure until marriage, and they already have 3 or 4 kids by a couple different dudes, and they're talking. Okay, so you want a man that makes 6 figures. You want him to be 6 feet. You want him to be this. You want him to be that. And what are you bringing to the relationship? Like you should be. If that's it, then you should be equal. Right? Like you should be fit. You should have a 6-figure income. You should have this. Like they don't want to stop going out and partying. They don't want to stop doing all that. They want to keep doing exactly what they were doing while they were single. And that's just not the way it works. Like they want an old school traditional man that's going to pay for everything, but they don't want to be traditional themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what makes you say he's wrong?
I kind of think is the approach he takes about it. You could get a lot more with honey than you can with salt. And he's pretty salty the way he speaks. And again, he comes off so macho about the whole thing. See, the way you just explained it is okay.
Okay.
The way he would have explained it, he would have made you feel...
Because he sounds aggressive, right?
Exactly.
Because he's so stern about it.
He would have made you feel like he was talking down to you about it. I think that's the problem.
Well,
the other dude...
like children, shouldn't they?
The other dude, the Sam dude, too bad he died because I think he was a lot better, and he did speak the truth because he was the one that would really say, okay, how much do you weigh?
Right.
How many kids you got? How many baby daddies are there?
Right.
What are you bringing to the table? And they be honest with him, and he's like, well, how do you expect a man making 6 figures to want you? What are you bringing to the table?
Right.
And he'd make them be honest with themselves.
And then there's another guy, this redheaded cat. I think he does it. He does a show with Bobby Lee, if I'm correct. He might not be the same guy, but he kind of looks like him. And they do this. They have these girls in there, and they ask them, "Would you rather have?" There was one the other day that dude does the shit out on the street. Like they'll just interview people out on the street. This dude asked a girl, "Would you rather have a man with a man that beats you, or a man that made what was it? A man that beats you but has a 6-figure income, or a man that loves you and treats you right, but I don't know, makes 50 grand a year." And they all said they would take an ass whooping for a 6-figure man.
Wouldn't you?
No, hell no. Well,
so if they said, would you take a woman that didn't cook, didn't clean, but yet she made 6 figures, what would you say? And let me preface it by saying this as well. I'll give you a cleaning lady, but I'm not going to give you a cook. That means you have to be the one to cook all the meals. And you still have to work, but your work is not as intense as, let's say, hers. So you have to be the one cooking all the meals.
You know, I would like to be able to say that I could do that, but I don't know if I could.
I don't think you could.
Only because, and it has nothing to do with...
It has everything to do with...
yeah, right? I don't think it has anything to do with being the, like, you know, toxic masculinity. I think it just has to do with a self-sense of pride and what we've been brought up with, right? Like, we're supposed to be the provider. We're supposed to be able to be the caretakers, but at the same time, we have to be able to change with the times, right? Like, we have to be free thinkers and be able to say, okay, well, you know, if you're going to want to go on a trip to fucking, I got 5 on it. Like,
so what you're saying is the old school way is the way you were brought up, and that's the way you want to roll, but you should change.
I'm not saying I should change. I'm saying that, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because also, this is going to be really bad for me to say, but the old school way was you can't beat your wife. So why are you coming down on these women that will say, yeah, if he's making 6 figures, I could take a slap here and there. That was the old school way of doing things. The man brought home the bacon, and once in a while...
Well, then I need to start making 6 figures. It's such a convoluted way of thinking because, you know, it's that whole thing. But yeah, but what do you, like, Andy, at the end of the day, right? So let's say you were making 6 figures, you met this chick, you get married with her, you fell in love with her, right? And you didn't sign a prenup because, well, fuck, you love her and it's marriage and you're not supposed to, and that's not the way we were raised, right? That's the other side of that coin. So then a year down the road, she gets mad because you make 6 figures, so you're hardly home, you're always working because you got to work hard to keep her in that lifestyle, right? And then it's, oh, well, you're never here. You're not here for me. You're not here for the kids. I'm here by myself. I'm just like, I'm married to myself. I might as well be. I don't need you. I can take care of myself. And when she says that, that means I can take care of myself because I'm going to take half your shit. And the house. So what's the return? What's the return for the dude to put himself out there and want to do that? Because, you know, we're not living in those times anymore. Marriage isn't, it's not, you know, until we die. It's until I'm tired, until I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? Not until death do us part. It's till.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I would think if you got the right partner, that wouldn't be the case. That partner would be understanding.
Okay, so let me ask you.
And knows that the lifestyle you live has its consequences.
So let me ask you a question. So you're saying that's okay, as long as it's the right person?
I'm saying it's okay if going into it you already knew this.
But how do you know that? Like, it's a gamble, especially nowadays.
How is it a gamble if you already knew going into it?
But how do you know? There's no guarantee. You married your wife with that thought process. Both of you guys already knew. And it said, okay, but if we get married, we're in it. There's no leaving. It's done.
Right.
Right? I think people say that to each other today, but right, until I'm done. You see what I'm saying? And because there's always that loophole, they always keep their fat toe in that, just in case I got an escape route, right? So yeah, you could be in love with somebody. You could because nobody gets married with the intention of getting a divorce, right?
Right.
At least that's what we hope, right? You get married to somebody, and it's because you're madly in love, and this person, you know, shadows everything that you love, and she represents all the things that. Or he represents all the things that you find right and wrong in the world, and what she doesn't, you guys can discuss it. It's not a big deal, right? And sometimes that person is there and then they change because we grow up. We have different people in our environment. Especially like if you get married at 18, 19, 20. How old were you when you figured out who you are, Tony? 30? 32? 35?
I don't think I was that old.
Well, you don't think you are as old as you are now, so it don't really matter. You know?
No, I don't, because I don't think I changed that much in my 30s per se. I think who I was in my mid to late 20s stayed till now.
Do you think maybe that's the difference between the success that you've had in your relationship as opposed to your friends that haven't? Because you got married and you created your business and things were going strong and you had a good relationship with your wife. You'd known her forever. That's the other thing. You're supposed to marry your high school sweetheart. You kind of did, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, so you had one up on the competition already because you went through all that.
Well, I also think, like I said, I didn't go through a lot of. We did not go through a lot of changes, meaning career changes, moves. Because when you change your career or when you move, you're meeting new people, you're making new friends.
Right.
Things change.
So I'm gonna say this, and I want to say it the way I'm gonna say it. I don't think it's gonna sound wrong. I don't want you to take it in the wrong way. I think you found a certain amount of happiness and success at an early age, and you're all right. Let's ride this out. To where I think a lot of people, myself included, even now, look, I'm 51 and I'm still searching for more because I'm not satisfied with. I haven't found my plateau. Does that make sense? I haven't found my happy spot to whatever.
But let's speaking on you.
Yeah.
Let's say you were able to, when you met your wife, whatever it was you were doing at that point, at whatever point in your career you were at, let's say you were able to stay there and still progress within that company, both in your title and in your pay, but you never had to really change anything. Do you think you'd be, let's say, still married? Because again, your stories, you did a lot of moving, you did a lot of changing, you had to go, and that puts a lot of strain on the relationship.
Yeah.
And it probably was one of the causes of what caused the divorce.
Right.
But with me, for example, we did not go through a lot of those changes. It just progressed as the white picket fence story goes. You get married, you get a house, you get kids, and you raise them, and you go to work 9 to 5, if you will, and come home and do it all over again the next day.
Right.
I'm comfortable with that life.
Right. No, absolutely.
Very comfortable.
Yeah. You're very much like the Leave It to Beaver story kind of. Marry your wife, stay with them, raise your children, don't beat your wife, blah, 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 like all that kind of shit, right? And I'm probably more like if they were doing Leave It to Beaver now, I'm probably more Al Bundy than Leave It to Beaver. You know what I mean? Like, because I wanted a certain amount of success. And I understood that in order to do that, I had to do these certain things, and I had to move around to find those successes. And she knew it too.
But again, what do you consider success? I mean, do you look at me and consider me a success? When, in all actuality, when you break it down, I mean, what am I successful at?
Well, I think you are, because you've been able to achieve what you wanted out of life, like being married, having kids, living, a status quo. You don't want strife. You don't have strife. You don't have drama. You don't have people knocking on your door for bills. You don't have crazy kids that are out, screwing up the world.
Okay, so do you consider that a success?
To some degree, yeah.
Okay,
for you, that's a success.
But why wouldn't that be for you? Why would you not have thought or wanted, I got my old lady, we've got our kids. Not that I'm happy where I'm at in my career, but let me make the best of it because home comes first versus my career. And, in other words, you wanted to be the big radio star, which is great.
Right.
But when you got married and had children, I think that should have probably taken more of a backseat than... And I'm not saying it didn't. I'm not trying to say that at all.
Right.
But had you concentrated more on saying, that's got to be put on the back burner a lot less now, and let me work in the back offices of the radio station versus trying to be the star, because it's more important that,
I was born with the star on my ass, bro. There's nothing. I can't fight it, bro. I am who I am. But to answer your question, yes, when I did the last time that I was in Bakersfield, I had taken a test to go work at a cheese factory in Lemoore that they do all the mozzarella cheese for Domino's. And my ex-mother-in-law's best friend's husband was like a manager there. And they all looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. And they were like, hey, do you think you could pass this test? What is it? Math? Yeah, I could probably pass it blindfolded. I said, yeah, but you don't understand, 75% of the people that take this test fail. I said, yeah, but who do you have taking the test? You know what I mean? I'll go take the test. So I went and I took the test, but they took a long time to get back to me. So from the time I took the test to the time they got back to me, I had already accepted a gig in Phoenix. I was okay with getting out of radio. I was like, hey, you know what? You're right. We just need to find a job, learn to be happy with. I need to get back into that mindset where I'm not gonna be on the radio. I'm not gonna be a fucking star. I'm gonna be the guy that works at the fucking cheese factory, right? And I was ready to do that, but they didn't call me back, and I had already accepted a gig in Phoenix. And I was like, hey, look, man, we can't cancel. They're coming to pick up our shit on Monday. I've already signed the agreement. I can't back out of it. We got to go to Phoenix.
See, but at the point that they made you the offer for Phoenix, this is after you took the test?
Yes.
Okay. You, at that point, should have said, am I sticking with trying to be a radio star? Or am I switching gears and doing something else? And you chose to stick being a radio star.
Well, and I'll tell you why. Because A, that's where I belong.
Okay. Hey.
I'm just throwing it out there. Second of all, we had already gone through the 3 months worth of severance that I had, and whatever savings we had along with unemployment. So the gravy train was running out. They weren't calling me back. Her mom would call her friend every other day, and there was never an answer. So, hey, we can't sit around fucking waiting to find out if Domino's is going to cheese our pizza or what we're going to do. If the job's in fucking Phoenix and that's where the money's at, doing radio, then that's where we're going to go.
There's the key. There's the key word.
What?
What did you just say? I already forgot. Oh, if we're going to be in radio, that's where the money's at.
No. I said if radio's offering us money and it's in Phoenix, then that's where we're going to be.
But if, again, I think a big part of it is you still want to be that radio star.
Fuck yeah. I did not want to work at a cheese factory.
I get it. Oh, no problem.
Dude, that shit stinks.
No, but here's the thing. There's other things other than a cheese factory, kid.
Not in Bakersfield. Is it that, or I was going to work in the fucking oil fields?
Okay, work in the oil field for a little while.
Have you ever worked in oil fields?
Hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
See, but again, I'm not... Not at all. I'm not trying to say you chose a career over your family.
Well,
that's not
exactly
what I'm trying to say.
saying, but that's okay.
But
I read all through your bullshit. Go
but
ahead.
it was like, again, like you just said, if you're at a job that takes you away from your family so much, and that's what a main reason for divorce is, then you, in a sense, looking at it that way, you chose a divorce because you chose not to want to give up that job or that life. I get it. Some people are built that way. They can't do it. There's nothing wrong. I mean, I shouldn't say there's nothing wrong with it, but you knew what you're getting into when you're doing that.
Well, like, I guess. Well, but even then, because once I left the radio station in Phoenix, because I had a year contract, right? So once we got to the end of the year, they couldn't make the station fly. So we said, okay, well, fuck, I'll go get a job. I got a job at Aaron's.
Word up.
Right? I was out.
You're out.
I was out.
Okay, good.
I wasn't applying anywhere. I wasn't sending my fucking tapes out. I had an offer in San Antonio and I had an offer in Miami, but she didn't want to fucking go. I could have been in fucking Daytona Beach, Florida, doing fucking, or in San Antonio doing fucking radio, but she wanted to move back to California, and I wasn't going to be that far for my kids, so I came back to California.
Oh, but I'm mainly talking while you're still married. Because, again, that's probably one of the reasons for, the dissolving of the marriage was the weird hours with the radio station, the not at home when she wanted you to be.
You know what was crazy, Tony? I'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'd go to the radio station and I'd come home around 2 o'clock because I would do my show. I'd sit with my boss for about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the show, going over the show we just did.
Okay.
Break by fucking break. So we would record it. Like anytime the mic popped on, there was a cassette recording what we were doing. So at the end of the show, we'd take that cassette and go to the boss's office. And we'd go over it, break by fucking break. Hey, well, why'd you do it like this? You should have done this. You missed an opportunity here. You should have been all over this guy for that. You should have... Like, fuck, dude. So then I'd leave there and I'd go do an afternoon show, pre-record it, and then I'd go home.
Okay.
So I'd go home and, 12, she'd been up for like an hour.
At 12?
Yeah. She'd have been up like an hour. Hey, I want to go here. I want to go let's go here. Such and such invited us over for dinner. I'm like, man, I just want to take a fucking nap. Like, I'm fucking beat. I just worked 8 hours, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me a break. I just want to take a quick nap. And I've talked to hundreds of people already. Going to sit at dinner and talk with other people doesn't really entice me. That was my pick. It doesn't really entice me. I don't want to go fucking... Because they're just going to want to talk about radio. I just want to... Can't we just sit at home? I'll cook. No, I don't want tacos.
What time would she go to bed? If she's waking up at just before noon.
We would be in bed by 8:30, and I'd be asleep, and she'd stay up till about 10, probably.
But you go to bed together?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she would wake me up at 10. Hey, let me go to sleep because you're snoring. And I need to be asleep so I can sleep, because if not, I'll never go to sleep with you snoring. So now I had to sit up and wait for her to fall asleep so I can go back to bed. It's driving me crazy. And then in the middle of the night, hey, I can't sleep with you snoring. Well, why you wake me up? I was doing just fucking fine.
What, she can't just rub your back? That's what my old lady does to me.
Well, she never tried figuring it out. She just wake me up.
So, she would sleep like 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day?
Well, after Sebastian, she had really bad postpartum depression.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, she was doing that and she was eating a half-pound bag of Reese's peanut butter cups a day. It was a rough first year of his life, you know what I mean?
Because one of the reasons why I was asking is because a lot of people find it weird that, like, my wife will go to bed. I go to bed early.
Right.
I start falling out like at 7:30. These podcasts recorded be killing me sometimes, but she'll come to bed with me. She'll watch little TV,
Right.
but then she's, But again, I wake up 3:34. She wakes up about 4:30.
What time does she go to work?
She has to be at work like at 7 or 8.
Oh, wow.
So, but it's one of those things that, again, what I was saying was some people think it's weird that, in a sense, she follows my schedule.
Right.
And not that they're saying, well, why do you do that? Why don't you just stay up and let him go to bed? You can just stay up, and then why don't you get up when he gets up? Type deal. Because some of her friends do that.
Right.
And she's like, my old lady's like, no, we go to bed together, we wake up together. That's what makes us tick.
Well, but I think that you guys established that early on in your relationship. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't just something that happened a couple years ago. You guys have been doing that for years, right?
Right.
So,
like, we know people that if they watch TV separately because she watches something different than what he likes to watch. And so they're in separate rooms watching TV.
right.
And that, to us, that's not cool. I mean, we don't do that. I'll watch something I don't like because she likes it. She'll watch something she don't like because I watch it.
You don't watch it. You just in the room.
Well, that's true. Okay, you got a point there. I might be doing something else.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily go into separate rooms and do our own thing.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Trying to think back. Yeah, I watched a lot of fucking TV I didn't like when I was married. But part of it was, too, though, is that she was watching what my listeners would watch. So I'd have to watch it so that I could talk about those certain shows on the show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like right now it would be like fucking 90 Day Fiance.
That's actually pretty good, though.
You know? What is it? The Masked Singer, or what's it called? The
That's
costume
actually
singer?
pretty good, too.
The fuck out. So you'd have to like I'd
Right.
be stuck watching that kind of shit, like
You gotta
American
keep up with
Idol
current
and all that.
events and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I get it.
And I think I have watched less TV being out of radio than I did in the years that I was in. And I was so in the know about everything. Like you could say somebody's name, oh yeah, they did this, and I could tell you. And now you'd be like telling my brother's name and I'd be like, who that? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm so disconnected
Right.
with all that shit. Even like things that happen on the daily. Like I would get up, I'd read the newspaper, I knew what was going on. I'd search all the news things, all the news articles, all the dumb news, all the real news, because we needed to know. Right now, it's just kind of like, if it comes my way, I'll figure it out. It's such a trip.
I hate to. I mean, I know we talk about it a lot. Your situation. So with your wife having like postpartum, do you think that played a big role in your?
Yes. All for me.
But so I'm not trying to be mean, but did you not try to understand what she was going through? Maybe that's a bad way of putting it. Because women that go through that, they don't necessarily get a divorce.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's totally your fault, but could you not understand? This is what she's going through, and
well, I think it is, but unless you're in the middle of it, understanding it, is really hard. There was a couple of things that I learned, and I focused on daily while she was pregnant. Was it's not you, it's not me. It's whatever she's going through is because it's her hormones. If she doesn't feel that way about you, she has no other way to express it. It is what it is. That's it. You know what I mean? So I had to learn to swallow that. I had to learn to.
And this is with Sebastian.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had to learn how to separate myself when she would get a certain way or say certain things or be nasty about certain shit. Like I would have to, okay.
And there was no prior signs that this would happen?
Like, what do you mean?
While you were dating, you were
Bro,
like,
we
whoa,
bro,
that's...
Bro, we didn't date. We went out one night and spent 9 years together.
From the night you met her.
We went home, we threw down, and we spent every night together.
Okay, from that first night to you decided to have children. Or till she got pregnant.
Yeah.
There was no signs that she would kind of like...
No.
Not wig out, but, you know...
Different?
Yeah, become different.
No.
Did her parents see that when she was having those issues?
Yeah.
Did they come to you and say, yo?
No, her parents wouldn't do that. No, they're very, they would pray about it. I don't know how much I want to put out there, but, like, her grandmother was bipolar. So, and it's supposed to skip a generation or whatever, but we don't know. It can and it cannot. You know what I mean? And she would talk about how, she'd be laying in bed at her parents' house, and her crazy grandmother would come and tap on the glass and call her name, like in a whisper almost, so she could barely hear her through the window.
Like at night?
Yeah,
that's
she's
scary.
Like 7, 8, and I was like, yeah. And then she showed me a picture of her, what her grandmother looked. I was like, oh my god, dude. There's no way. Like, holy shit. Like, it was a trip, dude. Like, because our family wasn't like that. Like, and there may very well have been people that had postpartum depression or they were fucking bipolar in my family, but nobody right. In our community talked about shit. But
it's that. Also, it wasn't labeled. There was not a label on it. If
right.
There was something wrong with them, it was just that she's a little off.
Yeah,
it wasn't like diagnosed.
Right.
Because I mean, I've got some family members that are a little off, and at the time they were just a little off, but now it's like, oh shit, yeah, I get it now. Fuck. Now that there's so many descriptions on what it is.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, you got that. Oh,
like
wow,
your pigeon-toed cousin that used to hug himself. So yeah, I think one of the things that really stuck with me, that really fucked with my mind, while she was pregnant with Sebastian. So, like, we lived in a loft. So you come in downstairs, you have your living room, kitchen, stairs, and an open balcony, and that's where the bedroom was, and that's where the bathroom's at. So I would come home from work, and I worked. My studio was probably about the same size as this, maybe just a little bit bigger. And so this is when I worked with that kid that used to stink. Remember I told you?
Yeah. He
would come in and he'd work out before he'd go get on the air, and then he would just stinky by the time I get there, and then he'd spray fucking cologne on. It was just a bad thing. So I would come home and I couldn't smell it because I was in it. So I probably smelled a little bit like that dude's cologne, a little bit like his body odor, probably like the glue for the tiles. You know what I mean? Whatever the night crew came in and sprayed to clean, like whatever elements could be in that room, because women's sense of smell become like, I'm not calling women dogs, but they have that heightened sense of smell like a dog would. Like they could smell shit underground kind of shit, you know what I mean? So I would walk in the door, come 2:00, walk in the door, right? And she would jump out of bed and straight to the bathroom and throw up. It's not you, it's the smell of I could smell the studio on you. So I'd have to go upstairs, take a shower, change my clothes, and then she was fine. But it fucked with my head, like, fuck, dude, I discussed her that much that I walk in the door and she's got to go throw up. You know what I mean? Like that fucks with your sense of self after a while. You're like, fuck, really? Like, it's that bad? And I don't think she ever knew, nor did I think I ever let on how much that affected me. But that really fucked with my head. I mean, anybody, you walk in the door and somebody runs to throw up, and it was not just once, but every time you walk in there, you're like, God damn.
Right. Yeah, I can see how that mess with you.
And then the one thing that happened that was, but that was way later in the relationship. We already had Milo too. Was her anxiety. That really fucked me up. I mean, I told you about that too. Or we had gone to a concert that she wanted to see of some church group. And it was at her church. And I pulled into the parking lot and she starts crying and get me out of here, get me out of here. And I had to go park at the Home Depot across the way. What's going on? I'm just having anxiety and blah, blah, blah. About what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? She said, I'm just having fucking anxiety. Leave me alone, blah, blah. Okay, but anxiety about what? Like, tell me what it is that you're thinking is going to happen. They're just thoughts. They're crazy thoughts that could happen. And when she said that, I was like, what you mean crazy thoughts that could happen? You know, my Scooby-Doo hat went on. And, you know, she starts telling me, like, oh, well, what if I'm in there and there's a fire and we can't get out? And I said, well, we'll stand in the very back. I says, in all these new buildings, they all have to have sprinkler systems in it. So if there's a fire, the sprinkler systems will turn on. It'll give us enough time to get out. But what if people knock us down? I said, just get behind me. Nobody's going to knock us down. Or get in front of me. I'll get you out of the building safe.
Okay, this was church.
This was church.
So she was a church. She really believed in God. You couldn't hear whether that's God's plan?
That would, well, no. That would have gone fucking sideways, bro. She probably would have jumped out. I'd have been chasing her through a fucking cornfield. But I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you, ladies, if you're listening, I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay? Listen, I want you to...
Watch yourself.
No, I got it. I want you to focus on what I'm about to tell you. Just hear me out. If you and I ever get together and you're angry at me and you want to be left alone, run in a fucking cornfield because I'm not coming in after you.
What's wrong with a cornfield?
Fucking children of the corn being that bitch. I'm good. Nope. And those mazes where there's nope. I know Halloween coming up. Nope. If you want to get away from me, you run in the cornfield. You're going to be in there as long as you want to be by yourself. I'm not coming out. I'll wait for you by the side of the road. Maybe.
The other night, we were talking to my daughter. It was like 6 o'clock. It was like on a Monday, I think. It was Monday. 6 o'clock at night. We, shooting the shit. And after, conversations, she said that she wanted to hang up because she had to go grocery shopping. To get her groceries.
Okay.
Because she didn't do it over the weekend.
She had to be an adult.
Well, yeah. She goes grocery shopping. No big deal. But I was like, yo, it's 6 o'clock. Because me, 5, 6 o'clock, house shut down. We getting ready to shut the whole night down. So, with that, again, I'm an old man. So,
right.
I was like, yo, it's 6 o'clock. I told her it's 6 o'clock. She's like, yeah, I got to get groceries. I said, well, do it during the day on the weekends or something. And she hit me with, I don't have someone that, I'm not married to someone that will go grocery shopping with
exactly. me. Thank you for pointing that out to him. Thank you.
But time out. At 25, 24, neither did I. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was probably going grocery shopping in the middle of the night too. But still, I mean, she's looking at the 52-year-old me. When I was 25, I was in the same boat. I wasn't married. I was probably engaged, but, at 23, 24, I was doing the same thing she was doing.
Yeah, but no, you weren't. You weren't living alone.
I was living with my brother.
Yeah, and he did half the housework, right?
Half the house? Well, yeah. I
Your
guess.
daughter don't live with nobody. She got to do it all herself.
Well, okay, when you say house, I'm talking grocery shopping.
And she walks to work.
And?
Did you?
Yeah. There were times when my car was broke down and I had to walk to work.
Well, that's because you had a broke ass
Yeah,
car.
exactly. I didn't have nobody fixing my car if something was wrong with it. But back to groceries, yeah, I live with my brother, but we didn't go grocery shopping together. I didn't say, this week you go grocery. It was like he bought his stuff, I bought mine.
Yeah, but I think that's the difference too, though, between us and women. Because we went grocery shopping. We got a little extra ketchup. We got some sodas, and then I stopped at McDonald's and got 35 25-cent hamburgers and put them in the freezer.
Yeah, oh yes.
You know what I mean? To where your daughter's going and actually buying eggs and chorizo and bacon and whatever else she eats.
And on the way, stopping at somewhere and getting something else. Yeah. But my point was, again, she's like, I don't have somebody to go grocery shopping for me. And she had a valid point. She was saying that my wife goes grocery shopping, which she does. But then after the fact is when I thought, wait a minute. When I was 24, I didn't have somebody going grocery shopping for me either.
How often did you go grocery shopping at 24?
Hardly ever.
Your daughter probably goes once or twice a week, bro. It's totally different. Because I bet you your son doesn't go to the grocery store that much.
I don't think he does.
There's a big difference between a woman and a dude.
Well, I also think,
and Chicago and LA.
Yeah, I think it's I'm not gonna say he eats out a lot more, but I think he can afford to eat a lot more out a lot more than she can. So I think that plays a big part in it. But don't quote me on it. He's gonna call me tomorrow and say, I go grocery shopping. Watch.
Mm-hmm. And then your daughter gonna call you mad. What you trying to say? He make that much more money than I do? Oh, you fucked yourself up right there.
Probably did. You have to beep all that out.
But yeah, but that's a good point though. There's that big of a difference between like boys and girls, or men and women, and how much time they spend at the grocery store. I don't go to the grocery store no more. I order everything.
What do you do with fresh food?
I order it.
Like from... Oh, you just do it like a curbside pickup?
No, Walmart. They deliver it.
Oh.
Like I order meat. That's the...
Why, dude? Why? Isn't that extra?
No.
Oh. Still. How you expect to find someone if you order? You gonna try and hook up with the person delivering the food?
Because Tony, I don't have somebody going to the grocery store for me every week unless I do it this way.
But with you being a bachelor, you got time to go to the grocery store because you ain't got to come home and answer to anybody.
No, but I got to come home and clean and pick up after my two children because them kids don't clean up. I got laundries to do.
You don't do their laundry. Stop.
What? No, I do my own laundry.
Okay.
But
that's once a week.
Ooh, them new washing machines is fucking dope. And my clothes smell so much better than they did with the last two sets. So much better, dude.
We'll get into that in a second. Back to you.
I don't want to talk to you about my washer.
You need to go grocery shopping, kid. And you need to get you some numbers while you're out there.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the farmers markets so I can get me some fresh lettuce and organic tomatoes and stand there and squeeze some melons in the rows and give the chesty women a little
Just go
wink.
to the grocery store, kid.
I don't want a woman from Walmart.
Why you gotta shop at Walmart? Go to Standard Brothers.
Because that shit's expensive.
Standard Brothers is not expensive. Come on, kid.
Maybe on a Pacheco budget, but on a Lopez budget, that shit expensive.
Food for less, kid.
That's worse than Walmart.
First of all, hold on a second, okay? Baby steps.
Where the white women at? Where the white women shop at?
Baby grocery outlet. Baby steps, kid. You don't want a woman from Walmart. You don't want a long-term woman from Walmart. But we talking short-term right now.
Okay.
Go grocery shopping, please. Get out the house. Wake up early one day and go. They open 24 hours.
Are they?
I think so.
I thought they stopped doing that.
Okay, then they at least open by 6.
I'm just asking.
Guaranteed.
You ain't got to get loud. I was just asking.
Get up at 5:30. You could be there by 6.
Shit. 5:30. I ain't trying to pick up on no senior citizen. They're there at Walmart power walking and shit.
No, I just want you to get into the habit of going.
85-year-old lady outpacing me around Walmart because my bum knee and shit. Like, ma'am, leave me alone.
Matter of fact, go when you get off of work. You're in your little nice business outfit. Boom.
Yeah, no, I'm cool.
Come on, man.
I won't go in my work clothes, but I might go after work one day.
Do you wear a uniform?
No. Well, just the opportune shirt, but
what's wrong with that?
it shrunk. It fits me like a fucking half shirt. I got to put weights on the inside, fishing weights to hold it down over my belly.
Serious?
Yeah.
You wear a black shirt under it?
Yeah. Because if not, they see my white shirt, my muscle shirt, or what the fuck you call it, undershirt.
Dog, you're keeping it 100. You're keeping it $1. Go grocery shopping after work. Matter of fact, you coming from Indio. There's all them spots. You could
What's that place right there off of Jackson?
I don't know. I don't go to Indio. Shit, I got a problem going to Palm Desert, going to the mall myself. That's far for me.
There's a store there in Indio. That's where I should be going. I can't remember what it's called though.
Smart and Final. I think I know the store you're talking about because I think my mom likes to go there.
It starts with like a V or something like that, or a K. It's like a quickie something or a
quickie something. No, you need a grocery store, kid.
It is a grocery store.
All right, that's the plan. You need to start going to the grocery store. Make you a list on your phone of groceries and go get those groceries once a week. At least.
We'll see what we can do. We'll try to
Come
work that out.
on,
I'll try to work that out.
Dog, they're not... Women aren't going to be falling over you at your doorstep, kid. You got to go out there and get them.
The problem is my Spanish isn't that good, bro.
It doesn't have to be.
Where the stores you sending me to, they do. All right.
Hey, you said when you started this whole thing off with saying it's graduation time of year.
Yes.
And you immediately went into Andrew Tate.
Yes.
Was there anything about graduations that you were thinking about discussing?
Nah, I was just, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, fuck, Milo's gonna be 21 this year, dude. It's been 3 years since you graduated.
3?
Yeah. Right?
Wow.
Or was he 19 when he graduated? I think he was 19. I think his mom held him back because he was so small. So he was 19.
Because he was small?
Yeah, a little skinny little buck. Just roll with it, Tony. Come on.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
You remember when we graduated high school?
Fuck. Like it was yesterday, bro.
Do you really?
Kind of.
I remember our senior trip after graduation, going to Mexico.
I remember parts of my senior trip.
Remind me about remembering parts about my wedding.
Okay.
But we'll get into that in a second. Remember that party they had at the pavilion at the pool?
Oh, yeah, the toga party.
Toga party. What was the point? I don't remember. Was it a...
It was just a reason to get together. Everybody came in. Remember Gene Lavely in a toga? Who was the other guy that was about his Scott? I want to say his name was Scott. Had black curly hair.
I don't remember. Somebody threw me in the pool. You remember that?
Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't remember that one.
I got thrown in the pool.
Mm.
I think I got pictures somewhere of me soaking wet. Matter of fact, I got a picture of you. Do I? I don't remember. I think I do. At that party.
It's possible. I was there.
And then there was that brunch.
Yeah. Remember that brunch?
Yeah.
That's where I did my first stand-up.
Yep.
My second stand-up. Yeah.
And then the graduation itself and going to Disneyland.
Fucking Disneyland, bro.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
But like now, dude.
They don't do Disneyland.
They don't do Disneyland. I think they do like awards ceremonies. like if you were like
the GATE program.
yeah, it was. I don't know if it would be the GATE. More of a. There's something called Avid. You know what Avid
Oh
is?
yeah.
There's that.
That's the GATE program now, right?
I don't think so. I think that's more of a. They really hammer you about going to college.
Yeah,
and
college
stuff
prep
like
classes.
Yeah. Well, college prep, like meaning seriously prepping you for college, not just
not like us. No.
not like you're taking college classes, like equivalent to college classes. It's like we're going to teach you how to study for college. We're going to teach you how to get to college, stuff like that.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't think they do that much stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. Like, we had a senior dance too, right?
Other than the prom,
Or was it just senior prom?
I don't remember a dance.
I remember was it winter formal when we had to go up to the tram?
Yeah,
That was scary as fuck, man. I
yeah,
hate
it
the
was.
tram.
I didn't like that either.
When it goes and it dips like that,
Yeah.
ooh-wee. Make your balls kind of float for a second till they catch back up. Kind of crazy. What else? I remember it being at the convention center.
Oh, the actual ceremony, yeah.
Yeah. And that fucking convention center was packed.
Yes.
Because we were the 50th graduating class.
Well, also you got to remember there were in a lot of high schools. It was us, Palm Desert, Indio.
Yeah, because we had like 1,400 people graduating, right?
Oh,
Like we had the largest graduating class in Palm Springs history up to that point.
Do you remember? You probably don't. When you walk up to get your diploma, you shake the person's hand.
Yeah.
I shook the person's hand. I just walked away. I forgot mine. I had to run back for it.
Tony got all nervous in front of everyone. Oh shit! You gotta forget. I forgot to turn in that shit.
My wife and I, we were talking about we saw something on TV, I think, and they were doing a conga line. You know, the dance,
Yeah.
like a train in a sense.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Don't you remember we did that at our wedding?" And I was like, "No." And then I really started thinking, dude, I don't really remember my wedding all that much.
Is it because you were faded, or is it just because the memory has faded?
But I think the memory is faded because I think I had so much on my mind that now it's just on that actual day,
Right.
the whole thing, that it's just I barely remember things on my wedding.
Well, you know what's funny is, it may be a little bit of the same thing, and I'll tell you why. It was really hard, like, not hard, but I felt bad, like, talking with Manny sometimes, because dude, that guy's got a fucking memory for high school like nobody's business. And so do you. Like, I got pictures of this.
I'm surprised at some of the stuff I remember, and I'm surprised there's a lot of things that I don't remember.
Yeah, like I'm like, fuck, how do you remember that shit? Like, but you guys have stayed in contact over the years and talked about certain things and things that happen, and whether it's the same thing every time you guys get together or something different every time you guys get together. But there was that camaraderie that and you guys would talk about those things. Plus, you have the memories with your wife from high school. And yada, yada, yada from there forward. Like, there's some things that happen that stick in your head. And then there's some things that other people bring up and you're like, fuck, I forgot all about that shit. So something like, and then he'll bring it up and I might not remember at the time, but I'll keep, and then sooner or later, like a little blink of a little snippet of what you guys are talking about comes up. But there's a lot of times I don't remember the shit that he's talking about. I don't know how you guys fucking remember that.
She was, and we have a wedding video, so we should sit down and watch it one of these nights. Not you and I, my wife and I.
Thank you.
That she was like, no, the conga line was so long that it wrapped around it was in one of the halls at a hotel,
Right.
and she was like, the line went along the wall because there were so many people in it. And I was
That's
like,
cool.
Man, I don't even remember that at all.
Wow. Well, you guys are 26. You got another 24 years. You guys can do it again.
How many?
That's 50 years, right?
Oh, word.
But then that means that you'll be 75. So you might be, congling with a fucking walker, but shit,
My buddy James, I remember this, and just because he told me it was funny. And I don't even think Mojo knows about this. That table with my high school buddies,
Right.
James had his old lady who he wound up marrying. Rick was there, but Rick went solo because he wasn't dating anybody at the time.
Right.
So Mojo and his date showed up. And for some reason, she got to the table before him. Maybe he told her to go sit at that table. That's where we're sitting. While he went to speak to someone else. I don't know.
I'm going to go get drinks.
Maybe. So she got to the table and she tells Rick, "Are you waiting for somebody, like for this seat?" And James told me he looked at her dead in her eyes and said, "I've been waiting for somebody all my life." And she's like, "I'm here with somebody."
That's fucking hilarious. Holy shit. Did he really think that was going to work?
He might have.
Holy shit. Fucking Rick. That's funny. Who did he go with?
To my wedding?
Yeah.
No, he went solo.
Not Rick. What's his name? Mo.
Oh,
Was he still dating somebody that we knew? Or was
No, I don't think I knew her, to be honest with you.
No, I wasn't trying to get him in trouble or anything. I was just wondering who the fuck you went with. That's great. What else is there other stuff that she's mentioned that you're like, that didn't happen?
In regards to the wedding, or
did you get fucked up on your wedding day?
No.
Or were you too worried about?
Yeah, I had a lot of things going on. I wouldn't say I was worried, but there was a lot of things going on that just had it.
Like what? What do you mean? What could you have had? Like, you shouldn't have had any responsibility that day, but getting married.
Like the band had to get paid for. We had a DJ, which Manuel hooked up because it was his cousin.
Okay.
So I didn't have to worry about that. But we had a band that was there. They had to get paid. So I had a wad of cash in my pocket for them, envelope, I should say. Just I just want to make sure the night went
smooth.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, "Hey, dude, y'all better sing good when we do the money dance, because that's how you getting paid. So either we pull it off the dance or you ain't getting shit." That's how it's going. That's how it's going down tonight. Probably wouldn't have worked out really well for you though.
The other funny thing is I had my cabriolet at the time.
Okay.
And after the wedding, we stayed at that hotel. And I passed out. And my wife was hungry. So she went she rolled with the top down. And when I say she rolled with the top down, it's because the top was broken and it wasn't coming up. So, she rolled to Del Taco like at 2:00 in the morning in her wedding dress.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty fucking funny. They give her the food for free?
Not that I remember.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's pretty funny though. Your wife's kind of gangster like that. Like, she's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go. I'm hungry. Give a fuck." Yeah, I wasn't drunk at my wedding either, but that was only because there was no alcohol there.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have been, because it was a cash bar, but my wife and I got our drinks for free. So, but I didn't partake. Plus, the bar, if I remember right, the bar was like outside in the. You know how in the big hotels where there's the rooms,
right?
The big hallways that go right for.
Oh yeah.
This
they put
room.
them outside.
Yeah, they put them outside, or at least that was a bar that wasn't getting that much love because it was outside, so it was easier to go out there.
Right. Huh. Yeah, we had ours was like a I guess they would call it a tea time wedding. I don't know. It was just desserts and coffee. So we had, like different desserts and little
Figure
plates.
sandwiches?
No, just desserts.
Really?
Yeah, just little different little desserts, little cookies, little. I mean, because dude, I'll give it to my ex-mother-in-law. Man, she can bake, bro. She's a decent. She follows directions really, really well. She does everything out of a book, right? The only thing about her, I love her to death, dude, but she used to. One time I had gone to her, I was at her house or something. She said, "Oh yeah, I'm making something." She says, "But I don't know if you'll like the way it tastes. It's gonna be a little different." She said, "Because I didn't have any cilantro, so I used dill. They're the same, right?" I said, "No, those are two totally fucking different things. Like one's gonna taste like a pickle, and the other one's gonna taste like fucking Mexican food. What are you talking about?" So I didn't eat whatever she made that day, but I used to give her shit about that all the time. But she could bake, bro, and she had a lot of friends that were English, like hoity-toity English, and she could fucking bake some shit that they don't make here. And, oh my god, dude, she was bomb. So we had a fucking sweets wedding. It was all cookies and cakes and cupcakes and muffins and crumpets and whatever else. My dad was like, "Behold, ¿dónde está la comida?" No food, Dad. No food. You want a cookie?
No, we had a pretty big wedding. I think I had like 10 or 12 groomsmen.
Oh shit.
Yeah. 10? Probably around there.
Is it just because you couldn't bring yourself to tell anybody no, or you wanted that many? Or did you need that many because your wife had so many?
Yeah, well, my wife wanted her brother-in-laws to be groomsmen because my wife wanted her sisters to be bridesmaids. Or
Yeah.
But they had to have their husbands as their partners.
Right.
And, they just weren't going to be my groomsmen. I needed my crew. So I added on top of that those three, and then my best man and all that kind of good stuff.
Right. So was your brother your best man?
No, it was Manny.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my brother wasn't my best man either, though.
Did you have one?
Well, best man? Yeah. It was a guy that got me into radio, actually. Because what was funny was, so while we were still friends, I don't even remember where the fuck I was working, and him and his wife, he'd gotten out of radio for a little bit, and him and his wife, or his girlfriend at the time, or fiance at the time, decided to get married. And he calls me to come to the wedding. It's like, cool. So I'm at the fucking, what do you call it? At the airport getting ready to go. And he calls me, hey bro, would you mind being in the wedding tomorrow? I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, we forgot we needed somebody to read this, or the guy that was going to do it wasn't going to read the passage, so can you read it? I said, just in English? He said, no, it's in Spanish. Like, bro. I said, like my Spanish ain't like that, dude. And you're all fucking on the fucking Mexico border. You're all TJ. Like, they're going to be like, who the fuck was that muttering fool? But I was like, hey, you know what, dude? If you want me to do it, I'm down. I'll do it. He said, you just got to give it to me early so I can practice. All right, cool. So I fucking get there. And it wasn't me reading a fucking passage. They had me standing next to the priest, translating everything he was saying.
Oh.
And there was no pre-trial. There was no pre-run. It was like, hey, Pastor Loco, this is Mingo. He'll be translating for you. Mingo, Pastor Loco, blah, blah, blah. He'll tell you where to stand and get you ready. Huh? So I'm standing up there with a microphone, like, looking like I had Parkinson's. My microphone's shaking all over the place. And trying to translate, man, I fucked that shit up. Not in a good way. Like, I fucked it. Like, half the shit, I was like, I don't know.
When James got married, I swear to God, dude, he never brought it up to me. I got an invitation. The dates were set. The whole nine. And I had asked him a question about something. And he goes, well, dude, you're in the wedding. And I was like, I am? And he was like, come on. And I was like, well, there was nothing that said that I was. I mean, I'm not
disputing it.
Yeah, I'm not. But you never said, "Yo, can you come out to my wedding?" Of course, I would have said yes, but it was like I just got a regular invitation, and just it was what it was. So I just thought it was awkward that and of course I came out at his wedding, but it was like he never formally said, "Hey, would you come out at my wedding?" type deal.
Wow.
I mean, he'll probably dispute that to this day, but
because he says that he sent you something.
He
talked
said,
to you about it.
yeah, something. And I was like, no, I don't remember this conversation at all.
Wow.
His wedding was up in Oregon. That's where they graduated college.
Oh, that's right, because that's where he was living.
And it was cool because what my wife and I did, well, yeah, we were married at the time. We actually drove up there. And we took along the coast.
Oh, they took the one all the way up?
We drove up to San Jose.
Jumped over to the 80.
No. We drove up to San Jose and stayed the night with our aunt.
Okay.
And then the following day went the rest of the way. But that was a nice drive.
But you went up to 80, right?
I don't remember. Whatever it is along the coast.
Because you have to jump over, if I remember correctly, you go 80 or 801 or something like that and go up into Sacramento, and then you got to go through. But if you went on the coast, I don't know, because I always went that way where you go through like Sacramento, you go through Old Town, you go through Orville and Redding and all that shit going up through.
Couldn't even tell you.
No.
We flew back. We didn't drive back.
How was the drive from San Francisco to Oregon on the one?
Couldn't remember.
What?
Don't remember at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Not something I remember.
Just nothing spectacular. Nothing. No views that were like, God damn, that's gorgeous.
I remember we had stopped at one point and took back then what we call a selfie,
right?
Which was put the camera on the car with a timer and run to the other side. And like the picture we're in the bottom left corner because it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't remember the drive at all.
Have you always been a big picture taker like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Always.
That's where I fail at that so bad. Like there's things where, fuck, I should have taken a picture of that. Fuck off.
And you know what the problem is? I probably got thousands of pictures in my closet that need to be uploaded into the cloud, if you will.
Right.
And it just, I remember starting to do it, and it just is so tedious.
What you just do in a scanner where you lift the top?
At first, I started just taking a picture of the picture, but then you get the shine, and then I got a scanner to do it. Now there's an app called PhotoScan. I believe it's called PhotoScan. I have it, but I can't find it right now. Yeah, it's called PhotoScan. It's pretty good. But again, to take a picture, put it on a table, scan it, if you will.
Right.
Toss it to the side, take another one.
There's these scanners that are about like that. They're about as wide as a page, and they just look like the back of a binder.
Okay.
It's about that long, and it's probably about that thick.
Really?
And you just slide it in, and next one.
See, but that sound, is more like.
The ones that I've seen on there, they go pretty fast. I don't know about pictures or whatever, but I mean, technology comes and goes. But I think this newer technology's got to be a lot faster than. Because that you're right.
I'm talking. They're still in that paper envelope, if you will. And then the negatives are even in the back.
You know what I bought? I haven't used it yet. I bought this converter that will convert videos like 8mm, whatever they go from there, I don't know, up to 32 or whatever it is, like the size of the reel or the tape, and we'll convert it into a digital file and straight onto a Fire Stick. So that way you don't have to worry about that film anymore. You can get rid of it, or you can keep it, and hopefully.
I think we, like through Costco or Sam's Club, a lot of our VHS we put on discs.
I did that, and I also have one for cassettes that'll take a cassette and turn it into an MP3 file, and you can save it that way onto a stick or right onto a hard
You know,
drive.
in all actuality, what I need to do, and hopefully they'll still do it, so there's a company out there that still do it, is like just send all my pictures in and just get a thumb drive back.
Yeah, but what would you pay for something like that?
I think, like, for whatever reason, I know I'm probably just thinking out loud, but I could have sworn it was like a penny picture.
That doesn't even sound worth it for the person doing it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I think at the time it was like popular, so it would be more like quantity.
Right.
Like now, like for one person to do it, it'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing it for that.
Yeah.
But back then,
It'd be like 25 cents a picture. Shit. Fuck that. Well, I guess it all depends. Do they just scan it? Do they color correct it when they scan it? Like, are they doing all that, or are they just...
that's true.
Because what would be cool is, like, what is it? Is it iPhone that has that app where you take an old picture and it scans over it and makes it look like a brand new photo instead of all pixelated? You ever seen that?
No, I don't think so.
So what it does is, like, let's say you have a picture of your mom and dad, like when they first start dating, and they're leaning up against cars, and she's got the glasses that have the wing up in the corner, right? And a sweater over her shoulders and a little poodle skirt, right? And so, but she has a picture of that, but you can't really tell that it's her or your dad because it's so fucking pixelated. You can take a picture of that picture, and it'll go through and it'll correct it. And it makes it look like a new photo, like an actual new, clean, digital photo.
Huh.
Now, if you're going to do that with your pictures, that might be worth the time to sit and do it with your phone.
The one thing I always wanted to do, and I mean, it's still a possibility, because you know how we don't do photo albums no more.
Right?
I made a photo book. You know, it's like you send the pictures, and the pictures are actually the page.
Right.
I did one for my daughter's quinceañera, and we did one for our Disney World trip in the Bahamas.
Okay.
So what I was going to do, which I still will do with time, is do one for the year. So starting like New Year's starting January 1st to New Year's, like get the best pictures of every month that I have.
Okay.
And like make 3 books, one for us, one for my daughter, one for my son.
I thought you were going to do like daily pictures.
Oh no,
That'd be too much.
yeah. But you know, it'll just throughout the year, this is what happened. So it'd be easy now because obviously everything's on my phone. But
So-
if I went back 10, 15 years, that's when it would be hard because a lot of those pictures are still just printed.
So let me ask you a question. Why would you do a photo book instead of doing one of those frames, the digital frames, where you can load them up with pictures and it just scrolls through the pictures every couple of minutes or whatever, and it changes it?
Because there's something about the nostalgia of sitting down and looking at a book. You got people coming over, hey, check out this book.
Yeah, that's kind of a lost time,
Instead of you sitting there looking at a frame waiting for the next picture to pop up.
Yeah, because it's really, I think you're right, because I think it's really easy to
Yeah.
off from that as opposed to the
Sitting
pictures
down
that are,
and-
yeah. Because there's my mom, before she passed away, rest in peace, she had an album for each of us that she had been keeping over the years. So me, my sisters, and my brother each have our own photo album from my mom. Now, when I say that we got a photo album from my mom, it was a book with the sheets in there and a bunch of pictures just shoved in the photo album because she never had time to put them together. But God bless her, she made the attempt, and we have a lot of pictures of our time with her and family and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. I think you're right. I think doing it in a book, you're right. There, that nostalgia is different.
It is.
There's one that I have, or one of us has it. It's so one of my uncles was in the Navy, I believe, and he had brought back my dad this photo album from Japan or Okinawa or something like that, and it's I think it's made of bamboo, and it's got the oval like all of them have, right? Back in the day, I don't know what the fuck it was with framing a picture in an oval, but that's what everybody did, right? So it has an oval in the middle, but it's that shellac black.
Okay.
And it's with white and red lotuses, I guess, on the front, or flowers. I don't know. It's really fucking cool. But in there are pictures of my dad's or my uncle's weddings, pictures of my dad's cars, the clique he used to hang out with, the leather jacket that they used to wear in their little clique. There's pictures of him when he used to roll with the cab drifters down in Indio, which was a car club, but it was trucks. It was all pickup trucks. And he, there was pictures of a car show at Lake Kauai. And I was maybe 5-6 years old, maybe. And I was in overalls and a white t-shirt and a hat. And I'm sitting under my dad's board, or the cab drifter board, and they took a picture of me doing that, and just a lot of our like history when we were young, like before my.
What's your opinion on pictures of family members that you don't know? Meaning, if your mom gave you pictures, a photo album, let's say, of people you don't even know, but she knew them.
Well, that's the thing, like,
because I know that's going to happen to me or
right.
my brother and I.
Right.
And it's like
I could care less,
but
to some degree, because there's no attachment to those people. Right.
Exactly.
But you know that there is an attachment. If
correct.
That makes sense. So, like for me, like I don't know my mother's side of the family very well. I could walk by all of but one family member, know who it is. Just one. And no, two maybe. Because my mom's sister looks just fucking like her, dude. Looks just like her. And then we have one of my cousins, and he looks like a super white version of Dustin Hoffman. And he's a cool cat, dude. Like I love talking with him because he tells stories about my dad and how my dad took him and his best friend to Mexico, to Mexicali to party, because they were terco that they wanted to. I want to go. Tio, take us. And finally, they were just fucking take him already. So he took him down to Mexico for the weekend, down to Mexicali, and they partied. And so I love hearing stories from him. So I would recognize him, and I would recognize my aunt. Anybody else that's still alive, I would not know who I was standing next to.
So if you had one of her photo albums that had all these people in it.
I do. There's some that have, so my mother's last name was Ford. So we have, there's the Fords, there's the Davis, and there's a couple of other last names that are in that, and I get text all the time or like ads from Facebook, and like, hey cousin, I know you don't know me, but I'm Aunt Gladys's son. Oh, okay, cool. So I'll add him. So it's that's the one thing about Facebook. Like, you reach out to family that you don't know, or that you can create that circle of family that you never had. But
what are you doing with the photo album with photos of people you don't know?
just leaving them in the photo album.
But you're keeping the photo album?
No, it's gonna go to my sister.
Your sister's keeping the photo album?
Yeah. Partly because one of my aunts or one of my cousins wrote a book about our ancestral family. And it takes us back to the time of Jesse James. Apparently, we're related to the Ford brothers that killed Jesse James.
Wow.
And apparently, we're somehow related to Jesse James as well. But when she got to Jesse James, she started finding out things about him in his past and things like you got to really dig deep into. Apparently, there's some sort of conspiracy theory saying that he was also an Illuminati and part of the Knights of the Round Table, and that they have buried treasure from the Knights of the Round Table, and that was part of his treasure that was buried here in back in that area. So when she started doing that, she never told us who. She just said that somebody came to her and told her that she needed to stop digging around because she was going to start to find things she didn't like. So she stopped digging around, I guess, to find out more about what the fuck he meant. But but there's a lot of history, and even through the Civil War and shit, like she gave like Sebastian like fucking head over heels because she sent him actual letters that our family member wrote to Abraham Lincoln, and I guess they were like had that relationship with her, and he was in correspondence with Abraham, and he's got these letters about being some part of, I don't know. Sebastian needs to be here to explain it because I don't fucking really know it.
Somebody told your aunt to stop digging around.
Yes.
For something that happened how many years ago?
Hundreds of years ago. Because I'm sure that whatever she was to find is going to lead to somebody else. It's going to lead to something else. It's going to lead to some. It's going to like fucking National Treasure, or what's the one that what's his name did in Europe, and he was chasing the Pope or whatever. Fuck. Tom Hanks did that movie.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Fuck.
I know what you're talking about, though.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that. Like one thing leads you to another, and you know, and that's kind of like the problem of what we're going through now with all the shit that, you know, oh, he said this, he said that, and then there's all these conspiracy theories, and then the people that are involved in conspiracy theory let out some other bullshit to kind of hide what's going on, so that muckies up what your thoughts were, and now nobody knows what's real. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess they told her that she needed to stop, and apparently she got the message because she stopped, and that's about where she ended up writing the book to. Was that point. But yeah, it was really interesting. Like, and she shows like where we fall in line on the family tree, and you know what relation to what native tribes and shit like that. So all of our ancestral shit's broke down. Kind of cool.
It is, actually.
I can't imagine the amount of work the book's only about, and it's on paperback, and it's only about that thick. So it's not like it's like a huge book, you know, because you know it's the white side of my family, so a lot of the same, basically the same tree. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's really kind of cool. I can't wait I'd like to sit down and look at it and get to that Jesse James part, but I've never had my sister has it, and I haven't had the time to borrow it from her to want to really sit down and delve into it, because I don't know if it's actually like written like a story, or if it's written like a factual blah 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 blah, like just like a timeline. You know what I mean?
Do you think your life up until this point, obviously up until this point, You could write a book about it.
Yes.
That would be like something good to read.
I think so. I think there was a lot of crazy shit that happened, even through my radio years, and to get to where I'm at. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't know if anybody would read it, but I would think so. You? Wow. You? Scoob?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if everything would be put out there, meaning like no holds back,
Yeah.
probably, yeah, it'd probably be pretty interesting.
Yeah, you'd have to be transparent. There's no way you can't put a book out there like that. And because you have to go out and promote it, right? So let's say you promote it and you hit a #1 spot. Now you got to go on fucking MSNBC. You got to go on the Today Show, the Tonight Show, the Afternoon Show, you know what I mean? And promote it, right? And as soon as you do that, that motherfucker wrote a book. I wonder if I wonder what fucking chapter I'm in. And then they go read it, and you fucking embellished the story a little bit, or you said something the way they didn't like. Now they're gonna fucking, oh well, look. So what really happened was this, right? And it blows all your shit out the water, and next thing you know, you're fucking broken, and you lasted 3 days on the #1, spot in books. You know what I mean? So that's the problem with cancel culture these days. God damn it. But yeah, I think, fuck, especially if it was no holds bar, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, just funny stories you could tell. But some things might not translate, onto a book. For example, something that happened, we were just messing around. I remember driving down Ramon Road with Rick.
Okay.
Henson, past the cemetery, heading towards the freeway.
I'm sorry, your brother Rick or
Rick Henson?
Okay.
And I think I was reading a magazine or something. I was in the passenger seat. And all of a sudden, dude, he just let the steering wheel go and started screaming. Like, ah! Like put his hands over his face.
Right.
And dude, I mean, he must have timed it out perfectly. Because I looked up at an angle like towards him, but I'm still looking forward. And all I saw was a semi coming right at us.
Oh, shit.
And dude, I was like, I got so scared. I was like, ah! But we were in our lane, the semi was in its lane, but it just, but just the way he did it, and me looking up and seeing the front of the semi scared the shit out of me. And he was just dying laughing.
He pulled a fucking, what the fuck was that movie? Oh my God. Why am I so stupid today? Hangover. He pulled a Hangover on you. And if you've been the very beginning, remember they're in the fucking Benz or the Bentley on their way to Vegas. He said, "Is it okay to make a lane change?" Yeah. Then he starts to make a lane change, and the semi, and he fucking almost shits himself moving over, and Alan's dying laughing in the back. Oh, that's so funny.
Remember when you had your Monte Carlo? And you had the speaker box in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
So the three of us, you, Manny, and I, would have to ride in the front seat.
Yeah.
And then we rolling through the high school parking lot.
And these motherfuckers would lean over and hit the horn.
No. What I would do is Manny would ride Cherry. So I'd duck. So it looked like he was sitting right next to you.
So he was riding bitch. That's crazy.
Hey, remember when he used to have that old Volkswagen Bug?
He had a Bug?
Yeah, kid. He had an old one where the steering wheel was wooden.
I don't remember him. Maybe I do, yeah.
And it was like the faster he drove at night,
the more it shook?
No, the brighter the headlights would be.
Oh, yeah, because it was probably a fucking 6-volt.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I remember we used to roll, and I think it was his car. Like, we'd be making a turn onto Ramon Road, let's say from Faro going back to school. I'm hoping it's his car. It might be somebody else's I'm thinking about. But we used to take, like, as he was turning, grab his keys out of ignition and just throw them out of the window.
Oh, that's
in the middle of the road.
Fuck. We used to do some stupid shit.
Yeah, we
Holy
used to do
shit.
some real stupid shit.
Well, I remember that night we were in Palm Springs, and we decided to go out to Manny's, and it was windy as fuck, and we were going down Palm Canyon, Indian, towards Desert Hot Springs.
We were going up Indian then.
Yeah. So it was me, you, 3 girls, Manny, and I think Tony. Well, I know Tony Estrada was there. And I remember we were driving. He said, hey, can you roll the window down? I have claustrophobia. Boy, that shit was fucking on. Because me and Tony used to talk shit to each other all the time. All the fucking time. So we're driving, he'd start talking shit, so I'd reach over and I'd put my finger on and I'd roll the window back up. Oh, come on, man, stop fucking around. I don't know. Talking a lot of shit. I think the window needs to go up. He was fucking mad that night. Oh, fuck. Who else? And I can't remember his name, but he had the sisters. That poor kid, bro. I talked so much shit to him because of the size of his nose, bro. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Ada's brother.
Oh.
Juan? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
That poor kid, bro. Fuck, I was like, well, shit, you can't get in the car with Tony and me on the windows up because you're really going to fuck him up. Run out of air real quick. Everybody going to pass out. I remember one time he was talking shit. He was trying to. I said, bitch. I said, when you roll over, you got to put your head back, turn over, and then put your head back down. You're sure going to wipe the pillow off the bed. Yeah, it was foul, dude. That poor kid. I used to talk so much shit to him. I'm just clowning all the fucking time. God. And I remember, I think it was. There was one night, too, I was in the Monte Carlo, and I don't remember who I was with. But I was going, and I didn't really know the road that I was on, and I wasn't going like fast. I wasn't trying to fucking, oh yeah, my car goes fast. You know, I was just cruising, right? And I hit a fucking dip, and well, they had the shocks, and they had shortened the springs on the car. So when it came back up, it extended fully, and when it came back down, it compressed completely. So when it compressed, I hit the oil pan on the ground.
Okay.
Well, when I did that, I put a hole in the fucking oil pan. So then when I went home, I went out the next day and there was a big old fucking puddle under the car, and I was like, hey, Dad, I don't know what happened, but somehow there's a hole in the oil pan. Blah, blah. So I was like, how are we going to replace it or what? He said, well, do you have the money? Well, no. I said, all right, well, then get it and put it in neutral. And when I tell you to park it. All right. So he rolled it back just far enough. So we parked it. All right, turn off. So it made me go get sand and put it on the oil to soak up all the oil. So we did that. We cleaned all that shit up. I pulled it forward. I put it on 2 jack stands. And it was probably a hole about the size of a pencil. But the oil pan was filthy. I mean, it was a fucking 74 Monte Carlo, right? So it had years on it, right? So he says, hey, go get me the gunk real quick. So I go back and he cleans it all off. He said, all right, go get me this. Yeah. He said, go get me a Pepsi. What? Yeah, go get me a Pepsi. All right. He's sitting there and he's talking to me and he finishes the Pepsi, right? He gets his knife out and he cuts the can. What the fuck are you doing? He took a piece of the Pepsi can and covered the hole with that using JB Weld.
Damn.
So he put a little JB Weld on it and made sure that shit was clean and dried now. So he put a little JB Weld on the oil pan itself, put it on there, pushed it on, and then smoothed more JB Weld over it and along the edges. He said, all right, you can't add oil to it for at least 24 hours. He said, but that should hold it. So you need to start saving money so you can get rid of this and buy something else because you're going to start fucking having problems like that. All right, cool. Sure enough, dude. 24 hours later, I put oil in that bitch. I was back in business.
I used to have I didn't have it. It was my mom's car, but she didn't drive it. A 4-door Plymouth Valiant.
Okay.
And when I tell you this car, dude, if you pull it up, it was like a 1974 Plymouth Valiant.
Okay.
And it had the top was that material, whatever it is.
Oh, that like the almost vinyl?
Yeah, on the exterior.
Right.
So it was all, the sun beat it up, so it's all, ripping and stuff. So speaking of Tony Estrada, him and I, we ripped it off completely.
What color was it?
Beige. The car was beige, the top was black.
Okay, go ahead.
So we ripped off the entire top, and we just spray painted it black to keep it looking original.
Right.
I don't know if you remember a girl named Christy Armendariz.
Yeah.
4-door.
4-door?
Plymouth Valiant 4-door. She used to live up against, close to the mountains from Palm Canyon.
Right. Okay, on the res, right?
Yeah.
Or close to it?
Yeah. So we went to go visit her once.
Okay.
And you got to take like a dirt road to get to her. Like the pavement ends at one point, and the rest of it is a dirt road to the house. And that house is still there. It's west on Mesquite. It's on Mesquite, west of Palm Canyon. It used to be a Mac Magruder right there in the corner.
Okay.
So it's a big old house behind there. You can see it from Palm Canyon.
Oh shit. Okay.
And again, at one point the pavement stopped, and it was just like a dirt road to get to her house. So we went there one night, and as we were going through the dirt road, he told me to step on it. So
Who told you?
Tony Estrada.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I floored it, and we started fishtailing.
Scared the shit out of you, huh?
No, actually, I wasn't scared because it was under control.
Okay.
It wasn't like we were getting crazy, but you could feel it going from side to side, and that was pretty cool. We were like, oh shit, that was cool. So we went, we hung out. When we were leaving, he said, yo, do it again. So I did, but this time I lost control of the vehicle, and I wound up hitting this rock.
Shit.
And the car actually kind of almost went on its side.
Oh shit.
So like he was obviously in the passenger seat, almost wound up on his lap. So we had to push the car kind of level again. And I fucked up the axle or something like that. I hit like a big ass rock, so I had to get it towed. The point of the story is, it was my mom was a single mom. I fucked up the only car we had.
Oh, shit.
And I didn't have a dad to say, hey, get some JB Well, we can fix this right quick.
Right. Fuck.
Sorry, Mom.
Well, we going out like that. Look, Dia, I'm sorry. I know but here's what really happened prom night.
Your prom?
Yeah. So I borrowed my aunt's Camaro Z28. Cause shit, that's what everybody wanted, right? It was the black and gold one. And everybody, oh fuck yeah, like ooh. And it was V8. That motherfucker was powerful, bro. And that was before they had, like traction control and all that bullshit, right? I said, I can fucking drive. And I hit gas coming around the corner, and it sent me in a direction I wasn't ready to go. And I didn't know back then how to correct it. And I went over a curb. So all the way to the beach that night, it was because I had bent something under there.
It
right?
was shaky?
Yeah. It was bad, bro. So then I took it back to her the next day, filled it up with gas. I was like, hey, had it washed and clean. You know what I mean? Like, cool. Hey, Tia, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ran great, blah, blah, blah. Okay, mijo, well, thank you, blah, blah, blah. I'm glad you had a great time. And 2 days later, I'm in my room and hear the phone ring and, okay. Oh, huh? All right, let me call you back. And my dad screams my name. What's up? Everything okay? What's going on? Your TL wants to know what the fuck you did to her car. Oh, shit. She says that it's all wobbly. It doesn't go straight. You must have hit a curb because it's fucking bent. Y que eso que el otro. I'm like, yeah, I fucking hit a curb. I told her, I said, but don't tell her. I don't want her to know. I'll just tell her I'll pay her for it. It wasn't me, but since I drove it last and she says that I did it, I'll pay for it. Just tell her like that. I ain't say you tell her that shit. I'm not gonna call and lie to my sister for you. Fuck. So there you go. Yeah, that's what happened that night. I hit a curb. I ruined your car. Fucked it up. Yeah, but they fixed it right away. I gave her the money for it right away that next payday.
Oh, I don't think that valiant got fixed.
No?
No. I don't think it got fixed at all. If I remember right.
So how many cars have you gone through? Because you started off with the Cabriolet.
My personal cars?
Yeah.
My own? Yeah, my Cabriolet was the first one. And, when you say Cabriolet, it wasn't it was a Rabbit convertible. Cabriolets came, soon after that. It had the sporty rims.
That was the uppity white girl version.
Yeah. So mine was the Rabbit convertible. It wasn't a Cabriolet. Let's just put that out there. After the Cabriolet, what did I get?
You know what's funny, dude?
Shoot, I don't remember.
Because when I bought my GTI, I bought it from this. God, she was gorgeous, bro. I bought it from this white girl that looked like she could have been in an 80s movie with the fucking Cabriolet. Because, they had the little scrunchies in the hair with it really high, and the socks or what are the fucking leg warmers and shit. Shorts and the sweater wrapped around her waist and shit. She was hot though, dude.
To be honest with you, I think after the Cabriolet, I just got a minivan. Because I was already married.
Oh.
So we got the family van. It was a Toyota Previa.
Okay.
I had sold the Cabriolet to some dude.
You couldn't even get a cool, you couldn't get a Chevy Astro van?
Yo, that Previa was off the hook, kid. The only problem with it, I guess I got the...
It was a van?
No, it was nice, kid. It was rounded. The only problem was I bought it in Longo Toyota.
Okay.
And I think I probably got it in the wintertime because the way the AC worked was there was for the rear,
right?
There was a fan along the top.
Okay.
But that fan didn't shoot out cold air. It was just a fan.
Like it recycled.
Yes. So it was supposed to recycle what came from the front and push it to the back.
Okay.
Well, in Palm Springs at 120 degrees, that don't work. You just circling hot air. And whoever sat in the front was cool, but the 2 rows in the back, no, it was not happening.
Wow.
We got the van. I had bought myself a Jeep Wrangler when the kids were little. That was cool. That was fun. I never went off-roading, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it was just a cool vehicle. I remember rolling my son in his car seat, was in passenger side.
Okay.
And my wife and daughter were in the back seat. We go to McDonald's or whatever at night. It was a fun car.
Right.
The reason I'm saying this is because I remember one night, I'm surprised I remember this, we were rolling up Dade Palm to go home, and I swear to God, bro, he probably didn't, but he was probably looking at me. And you know how they got that chupon?
Yeah.
And it has to be that one. You can't swap it out.
Yeah, you can't
lose it. Nothing. I swear to God, bro, he must have been looking at me and pulled it out of his mouth and just threw it out onto the road.
Really?
To where we had to stop, turn around, and go look for it. We found it, but yeah, he just threw it out, and I had to go and get it. Little...
dude, you should have just... I was done. Hey, I'm sorry you threw it out the window. I thought you were done. I can't go back and get it.
No, that didn't happen.
Wow.
And I remember...
how old was he?
He was in car seat. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, shit, they're in car seats till they're 10.
Not back then. Now,
Yeah, back then they weren't supposed to be in the front either, right? That's fucking hilarious.
and the funny thing is, at this point, while I had that vehicle, my wife and I, we sold that first house, and we lived with my mom for like 2 years.
Oh, that's right.
And at this particular time, she lived up in the Cove in La Quinta. The first year we lived with my mom, she lived in the Cove. The second year, she actually bought a house in Cathedral City.
Okay. Is that the house she's in now?
Yeah. Okay. While we were in the Cove, she had a car. My stepfather had a car. He might have even had two, a work truck and a car. Then my wife had a car, which was the van. At one point, we got rid of the van and we got the Expedition.
Okay.
That Expedition was hard, though. It was nice.
On gas, though, right? Not too bad.
Not too bad at that time. So we might have had that, but anyways, she had the we had the car. I had my work truck, and then I had the Jeep.
Okay.
So there was like too many cars in front of my mom's house. It was like, she took up the parking in the driveway, so we had to park all in the street.
All three of your cars?
Yeah. So luckily, nephew needed a vehicle.
Okay.
So he borrowed my Jeep, bro, for like months, if not a year. It was damn near his car.
That's fucking hilarious.
But it worked out because, like I said, I didn't have no place for it, and I really didn't drive it. Because me driving somewhere up from the Cove, I wasn't going. Once I got home,
You were done.
I was not going anywhere.
Wow.
Back then, she lived in the Cove. The closest grocery store was, I want to say 111. And it took like 15, 20 minutes just to get there.
Oh, yeah.
So I was not going anywhere once I got home.
Wow.
That was tough when we lived with her for a while because we both worked. Well, my wife worked in Palm Desert. I worked Palm Springs. If I had a problem arise, dude, it was like 45 minutes just driving.
Just to get there.
Yeah, it was hard.
Holy shit. I told you how my mom got me off the bottle, right? Do you remember?
No, I don't think so.
So, this was, I think I was 3, probably, she said. And I had a Fred Flintstone bottle. And that was my fucking favorite bottle. So I have an uncle that lives in Desert Hot Springs. And he had a pig on his land. And they were getting ready to slaughter the pig. So, because somebody was getting married or there was a quinceañera or something. But we had to go up there because we were going to castrate it. I don't know. I guess that's a big thing. Everybody comes around and watches you. And I don't know. Do you know anything about that? I don't know. So anyways, we went up there to go see this pig. And we're standing there. And because I'm small and he could smell my bottle, he's coming over to the gate where I'm at. And my mom said, I tried everything to get you off that bottle. And no, you wouldn't. Nothing. She said, so that day the pig came and so I said, let me see your bottle. Oh, can I give it to the pig? Can I give it to the pig? And you were screaming no, and the pig started sucking on the bottle. And then I took it away from the pig and I gave it back to you. And from that day forward, after that pig sucked on that bottle, you didn't want it no more. I'm like, well, yeah, a 2,000-pound ham just sucked on my bottle. I'm not going to want it back after that. Are you crazy? So that's how she destroyed me and got me off the bottle, all in one fell swoop.
It's funny how, when a kid has a certain bottle or certain, like my daughter had a sippy cup.
Right.
And my son had his chupon, like, it has to be that one. Can't change it.
Right.
It's just a trip. I mean, I think we still have my daughter's sippy cup because she was just attached to it, kid.
So
like crazy.
Sebastian, his Nana made him this blanket. And so it's those ones that are like, they're like the little furry blankets, but then they cut all the little sides about, 6 to 8 inches, and then they tie a knot in all the cuts that they do, right? So now it's a 2-layer blanket. You ever seen those? You know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
It's like they call it a granny throw or something like that. So anyways, he had this blanket that his grandmother made him. But what he would do is, because it was loose, and he used to suck his thumb. So what he would do to comfort himself was take his thumb and his 2 fingers and rub on the tela, the cloth, right? Well, then he'd start to suck on his finger, and eventually he started sucking on the blanket. So he'd have his blanket and his thumb in his mouth, and all the edges of that fucking blanket. After a couple of days, like you could see where he had been sucking on them because they're all fucking twisted up and just gross, dude. And we tried, and I put chili on his fucking thumb, like all kinds of shit, dude. There's this sour stuff that you can paint their nails with. It's supposed to keep them from biting their nails, but you can use it to keep them from sucking on their thumb. So we tried that. Nothing, bro. Then we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And we went to the dentist. And this girl was fucking gorgeous, dude. The girl that cleaned his teeth. And, I mean, she was just absolutely drop dead gorgeous, bro. Beautiful body, beautiful girl, white, beautiful green eyes. Just gorgeous. And we go in there, and she's cleaning Sebastian's teeth that day. And she says, hey, honey, do you suck on your thumb? She said, yeah. He said, yeah. He says, oh. He said, well, that's gonna ruin your beautiful smile. You want girls to be able to like your smile, right? Because it's such a pretty smile. And he was all, yeah. And she says, well, do me a favor and stop sucking your thumb, because your teeth are gonna come out and they're gonna stick out, and nobody's gonna want to see your smile anymore. Dude, we left that motherfucker. He never sucked his thumb again. That's all the power of women. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I mean, this kid was 3. Well, maybe like 5, maybe, right? To have that kind of pull on a 5-year-old, but like, come on, man.
My niece Miranda, she used to have I think her and her brother, but I just remember her because of what I'm about to say. They used to have a blanket, and
right.
You know how it becomes a security blanket?
Right.
Like, she'd go on a sleepover, she would take it.
Her whoopee?
If she forgot it, they'd have to take it to her type deal. Yeah, it was bad. And after X amount of years, I remember seeing one day that she had like a rag, like a torn up rag. And my old lady told me, she goes, that's her security blanket. That's what's left of it. And I was like, God damn. I mean, it was like not a full-size blanket, but it was a good size blanket
for a kid, right?
Yeah, and for it to be a rag, like a torn up rag, and she still had it.
Wow, what's she gonna do when it's all gone?
I mean, this was probably 20 years ago now, or maybe not even that long.
What would have been cool is if they would have taken that last little piece when it was a rag and framed it for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when she moved out, when she got married, to give it to her on her wedding day.
Well, I'll tell you what, a cool gift that I had gotten maybe for Father's Day or my birthday, maybe Christmas.
You get gifts on Father's Day?
Of course. Well, at least a card.
A card? What do you mean?
Father's Day's coming, kid. You ain't got your list ready? Your boys ain't gotten you everything off your list?
Shit. It's a list I gotta fulfill for myself. Father's Day presents?
Yes.
You know what? Sebastian's probably, I think he's gotten me 1 or 2 over the last couple of years. Except with Milo's empty promises so far.
Serious?
Last year, we were like, hey, Dad, what do you want? So I said him, because he was into buying these expensive shoes like Jordans and shit, right? I was like, hey, I want these, but I'll go halfers with you because they're expensive. All right, cool. So I was like, hey, do you need that half yet? Nah, Dad, not yet. I'm not ready. All right. I asked him earlier today, hey, you need that half yet? No, I'm just kidding. I never got the shoes. And then again, Christmas is coming up. Yeah, Dad, I'll get you like in February. Oh, you waiting for your tax money to come back? Yeah. So he did his taxes. Dad, I owe taxes this year. Fuck. So still ain't getting no gift?
Hey, man, that's where you go wrong. So that February ain't got nothing to do with now. You go to the store, go get me a card. Go ahead, go right now. I'll wait. But anyways, my daughter made me a blanket.
Well, that's cool.
With my rock and roll t-shirts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, one side is like a traditional blanket, so it's got like stuffing in it a little bit,
Right.
and the other side is all like the older shirts that I used to wear.
So like Kiss. And
Yeah.
What else? Were you a big fan of Rush?
Oh, of course. I don't remember what bands are on there.
No. Right on.
But yeah, that was a cool gift.
And what day is the 18th this month, right? I think it's the 18th. It's a Sunday. June 18th.
Yeah, I think it is 18th because actually my son's coming into town for Father's Day.
For Father's Day?
Well, it's his birthday too.
Yeah, you're not coming in for Father's Day. Dude, look. Father's Day is like the worst holiday ever. It comes.
No, time out, kid.
Bro,
Come
hold on.
on.
It comes behind fucking Arbor Day, bro. Like, you have Christmas and Mother's Day, first and second. Halloween is like fucking 4th or 5th. Like, the day that you worship Satan and shit comes before Father's Day. Like, we're the ones that hold it down and they go and do all this shit for you and blah, blah, blah. And we way down at the, it's, Arbor Day, May Day, like.
But the thing is, you're basing it on how you get treated on Father's Day. My Father's Days are pretty good.
I think the average, most men, I don't think they get lavished like that. Like,
I'm not gonna say lavished, but
come on, what did you get?
What do you mean?
Wait, what are your gifts normally? Like, what's an average gift that you would get?
I don't. Last year I got like some Adidas shoes. I don't remember what else. I know it was something else, but I just don't remember exactly what. I got surprised with them because if you remember, my family left.
Because most people are like,
I guess I just proved your point. My family left.
Yeah, right. They get ties and underwear, socks. Oh, we don't know. You're so hard to buy for. Fuck that. I'm easy to buy for. You know what I mean? And if at this point in my life, if I got something, that's so. Oh man, thank you so much. You know what I mean? I could lie now. I could blow it out of the water just to make you feel good about going out and doing something.
Well, my son is coming for that weekend, which is Father's Day weekend.
Right on.
But he is celebrating his birthday while he's here.
That's good. What are you going to get him for his birthday now? He's 20, what, 3?
20, yeah, very good. 23.
So what are you going to get him?
I don't know what we're getting him.
No?
No. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'll tell you what we're going to do.
What?
I already know what we're doing on Father's Day. The Flash comes out that Friday. So, like, back in the day, as a family unit, we're going to go watch The Flash. And Batman's in it.
Both Batmans are in it.
See what I'm saying? And
double.
the reviews are already coming in saying it's probably one of the best DC movies in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. They needed to knock one out the park. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I feel you. Okay. All right. Well, all celebrated through your eyes. I'm just kidding. All right. Anything else you wanted to cover real quick?
Just graduations.
Yes, congratulations.
My niece Erica, her daughter Aria graduates Friday.
Nice, congratulations.
Congratulations, Aria. I think she's graduates like 6th grade or something like that.
Tony, class of 2023.
What about it?
Bro, we graduated in class of 89. That's 35 fucking years, bro.
Oh, wow. When you put it that way, yeah. Man.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
I'm going to go cry.
Well, my other niece, Jackie, her daughter, Harper Lee, graduated. She's going to kindergarten next year.
Aww.
Congratulations, Harper Lee. My buddy Jaime, his daughter turns 1 this Saturday, the 10th. I don't know her name, so congratulations, Jaime. Jasmine, my nephew AJ's baby mama, her birthday is Monday.
All right.
So happy birthday, Jasmine.
Happy birthday, Jasmine.
My godson, little Luis's son.
Okay.
His birthday's Tuesday, the 13th, and he's turning 21, kid.
Oh, wow.
Gotta get him a bottle.
Yup.
What should I get him?
E40, bro. It's that E40 bottle of tequila.
Oh, is that right?
Yup. We had it at New Year's.
Okay. I was thinking about getting him a bottle of Hennessy to keep it real. But he is Mexican, so. What?
Wow. All right. I'm going to let that go.
And then also sharing that birthday is Ivan's daughter, Patty. She's turning 18. Congratulations, Patty.
Happy birthday.
But she's actually graduating high school as well.
Dang.
And her graduation's tonight, so they're probably
She's
there
like
right
a
now.
triple threat right now.
That's right.
Woo.
So she got
She
birthday
gonna have
and
gift galores.
graduation. Yeah, but when's the party? Yo, Ivan, when's the party?
Ivan.
Marta?
Ooh, Marta. He calling you out by your government name too, Marta.
Party?
Mm-mm.
Anyways, congratulations, Patty.
Yes, congratulations, Patty.
That'll do it.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I thought you had more than that. All right, cool deal. Hey, well, thank you guys for hanging out. Apologize for the way the podcast sounded last week. I was having some technical difficulties, couldn't figure it out, but we put something out for you anyways, and this should be much better. Thank you guys. Love you, and see you soon.